Welcome back to the mod manual. Today we're diving into a quick and efficient build. I put together a precise materials list, step-by-step order, and streamlined process to minimize your effort and get you up and running with ease. It's important to follow this exact list. Every ingredient has been carefully accounted for to ensure a smooth setup. Whether you're new or returning after a break, we'll go over some key mechanics to get you back on track. With the mod manual as your guide, you'll have a fully functional Mekanism workshop up and running in no time. I'm going to run over the items real quick in case you're checking your list to make sure it's right while I'm talking. Feel free to pause it while we go over this list. I'm going to need 27 iron ingots, 21 raw iron, 9 osmium ingots, 9 raw osmium, 8 copper ingots, 3 raw copper, 6 raw gold, 8 planks, 14 glass, 14 furnace, 36 redstone dust, 23 coal, 6 lava sources, and 1 bucket to move the lava around. Once you've collected that, that is the hard part. The rest of it is just putting it together, and honestly, it's only a couple blocks, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is craft 4 heat generators, and then we're going to make 1 metallurgic infuser. We're going to clear a diamond space with a 5 block diameter that goes 3 deep. We're going to make sure all these heat generators face inward, except for this last one, which faces out, and we're going to attach the Metallurgic Infuser. We're going to break all the blocks underneath, including the target blocks I have here, and the block in the middle, and the block underneath the Metallurgic Infuser. Perfect. Now we're going to lava log this heat generator by holding shift and right clicking so that the other generators start storing power. Since we have all the ingredients, there won't be a lot of time for it to build up. Next, we're going to put the coal on the input and turn it into carbon. Then we're going to put iron into the input, and that will turn into enriched iron. Then we'll be taking this enriched iron, placing it back in, and making steel dust, which we can take to the furnace and start to smelt into steel ingots, which is what we're looking to get. Now we can take this redstone and convert it into this infuser with the osmium ingot, and that will give us these basic control circuits. We can use those basic control circuits to make the cables. From there, we're going to start working towards the enrichment chamber, which we have to make a steel casing for. Now we're going to set it up. We're going to take the lava back, and we're going to break all this stuff. And now we're going to have this heat generator facing in, and we'll build that up. We're going to put the enrichment chamber, then the metallurgic infuser. Now we're going to need all those other lava sources, so we're going to have to log all of these, which is shift right click. Now we can duplicate all these raw materials that we had, and that's why we kind of waited to do it and we didn't smelt them sooner, because we don't have to work as much when we just duplicate them here. Once we enriched all the raw materials, we're going to place 5 coal inside the furnace, then the iron dust, and then the osmium. We will not be able to finish all the osmium there, but we're going to get as much as we can out of the coal. If you miss your timing on switching them out, it could burn your coal, so just be aware that you might need to put another coal in that's not on the list, but typically this is how I would do it. I can only get 11, so I'm going to do that. Nice, we're going to make 4 metallurgic infusers. And these are so we can make all these alloy infusers that are coming up and feed them into the other one, which you're going to be doing very soon. Next, we're going to enrich our coal and enrich our redstone. And we're going to put 1 enriched carbon into this metallurgic infuser and another into the one right beside it. Then we're going to put redstone into the single metallurgic infuser. Next, we have to configure and make sure auto eject is on and the top is put the output, and that the input on the one above it is put on the bottom. Since we got all the ingredients, real quick, we can make the configurator. Next, we're going to put these iron ingots in here, and they should get changed into steel dust, which we're going to have to smelt again, but we have 1 coal for that. Awesome. Now that we have our steel ingots, we can work to making the smelter. We're going to have to make another steel casing. And we're going to have to make some basic control circuits. And then we're going to get to make the smelter, which we can put right above the enrichment chamber so they can feed right into each other. Next, we have to turn on the side config, make sure the audio ejector on the top is put to output. Then we're going to go to the smelter, make sure the bottom is put to input. Now we're going to get to smelt all of our dust a little bit quicker than the furnace, and we won't have to use any more coal. Next, I'm going to make some infused alloys. I'm going to put these copper ingots inside, and there should still be some redstone left from when we put the enriched redstone in before. Now we're going to make these energy tablets. We're going to need 2 of them. And now we can make the energy cube. We can place that right on top. And this will complete our build for the most part. I'm going to talk about this other infuser setup and kind of just give you an idea of how I like it to work. All right, so I'm going to go to the other 2-stack Metallurgic Infuser, and I'm going to look at the item config. I'm going to set it up exactly like we did the enriched iron and the steel, as well as the enriched chamber and the smelter. And I'm going to check them and make sure they're all set up and kind of show you that they're all the same. So it's really simple to understand. Awesome. Now I'm going to enrich some diamond. I'm going to kind of show you how we're going to make these alloys, and we're going to keep our steel production going. We need these alloys because they basically make everything. And it goes right into the infused alloy. So we have the second highest tier right off the rip. Next, I have this other in case we need to make something like bronze ingots, but they really don't do a lot of things, so I didn't feel like in the initial setup it was worth making a big automation. In order to get the final tier, you're going to have to make an atomic alloy. The only reason I didn't include it here is because you're going to have to make a crusher, and making atomic alloys is extremely expensive and kind of something I like to worry about a little bit later. At the beginning, I try to get a basic setup. I try to get a tier 2 on the alloys so that my cables move quicker and I can be more efficient, and I can make, for the most part, all the endgame items, including the osmium compressor, the purification chamber, and the upgrades. So I'm also going to point out that you can point the alloys directly at the cables and the pipes and upgrade them, but you can't go backwards. And the same thing applies for the upgrades, like the energy and the speed. Thanks for opening the mod manual. It is extremely important to us that we deliver quality content, so please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. I also have a 5x ore setup video that you can check out, and I have a heat generator design that is pretty efficient as well as aesthetically pleasing for a survival world, so check that out as well. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much.